Your pain is your power. One pain is a forge, not a shackle. There's an old truth out here on the open range. Fire's the only thing that'll turn raw iron into a blade, and life's pain, that's your fire. Most folks see pain as a chain, something that holds them back, locks them in, slows them down. But I've learned, mile after mile, that pain is the forge where the real steel in your soul gets made. When you're in the middle of it, when the nights are long, the road's muddy, and the wind cuts right through your coat, it's hard to believe any good can come out of it. You feel stripped down, worn out, and hollow. But it's in that very stripping, in the tearing away of comfort, that something else is taking shape inside you. The weak parts are burning off. What's left? Just the solid, unbreakable core. A forge don't coddle metal. It roars, it blasts heat until the iron glows, then it hammers again and again. Life does the same. Every setback, every loss, every failure is another swing of the hammer. And while you might flinch at each blow, you've got to remember, it's not trying to destroy you. It's shaping you, but here's where most get it wrong. They think avoiding pain will make life easier. Truth is, it only makes you brittle. Avoid every fire and you'll stay soft. And soft things don't last long in the storms. They break, they snap, they give way, but those who have walked through the heat and been tempered by it, they bend without breaking, they hold their edge when life gets rough. You see, the forge doesn't just harden, it refines. It burns out the impurities, the lies you believed about yourself, gone, the fears that kept you small, melted away. All that's left is the truth. You're stronger than you thought, braver than you felt, and tougher than you ever guessed. When you start seeing pain this way, when you understand that the fire is a friend, not a foe, your whole outlook changes. You stop running, you plant your feet, you let the process do its work. You realize that pain's not something you just survive, it's something you graduate from. You come out of it with a new kind of strength, the kind you can't fake and you can't buy. The old-timers used to say, every scar's a story. But I say, every scar's also a certificate. It proves you went through the forge and came out on the other side. You're not shackled anymore, you're sharpened. And sharpened people cut through life's problems a whole lot cleaner than dull ones. So when the fire comes, and it will, don't curse it. Don't pray it away too fast. Let it shape you. Trust that on the other side, you'll not only be free from the chains you thought were holding you, you'll be carrying a blade you never knew you had. Pain's not a prison, friend. It's the smithy where warriors are made. Step into the heat, take the hammering, and come out with an edge the world won't soon forget. 2 scars are badges of honor. Scars have a way of talking without ever saying a word. They don't whisper, they testify. They're not there to remind you of the pain. They're there to prove you survived it. Out here, on the back roads of life, scars are the badges you earn in the battles no one else saw but you. A scar is a history book etched into your skin, your heart, or your mind. Some are visible, a jagged line across your forearm from a barbed wire fence, or a faint mark above your eyebrow from the day the horse threw you. Others are invisible, the kind you carry deep inside, born from loss, betrayal, or the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'd make it through till morning. Both kinds matter. Both tell the truth. See, scars don't just happen by accident. They mean you showed up. They mean you fought. They mean life swung hard at you. And you didn't just curl up and quit. You got back up even if it was slow, even if it was ugly. You showed grit when comfort would have been easier, and the scar, that's your receipt. Proof that you paid the price for wisdom you couldn't buy any other way. A lot of folks hide their scars. They cover 'em with makeup, long sleeves, fake smiles, and small talk. They're afraid someone will see them as weak. But out here, where the wind's honest and the dirt don't lie, we know different. A scar's not weakness. It's weatherproofing. It's the sign you've been tested, and you didn't wash away with the first storm. You can tell a lot about a person by how they wear their scars. Some wear them like shame, hunched over, hiding from the world. Others wear them like medals, walking tall, eyes steady, saying without words, "Yeah, I've been through it, and I'm still here." That's the kind of person you want beside you when the sky turns black and the ground shakes. Scars also have a strange way of making you gentler, not softer in the sense of weak, but softer in the sense of understanding. When you've been cut, you recognize the look in someone else's eyes when they've been cut too. You know what it's like to bleed, and you know what it takes to heal. That's why people with scars often become the best healers. They've walked the road themselves. There's a kind of authority that comes with scars. You can't fake it. You can't borrow it. You can't get it from reading books or listening to speeches. It only comes from walking through fire, taking the hits, and getting back on your feet. That authority makes your words carry weight. Folks listen differently when they know you've been where they are and made it through. And here's the truth that catches most people off guard. Scars can become beautiful. Not in the polished, picture-perfect way, but in the way they remind you of who you were, what you faced, and what you overcame. They are maps of survival written on the body and the soul. So don't be ashamed of your scars. Don't cover them up like they're something to hide. They are your credentials, your life's signature, your proof of endurance. They say to the world, "I was here, I fought, I learned, and I'm still standing." Scars aren't just the evidence of pain. They are the evidence of power. Wear them like the badges they are. Walk like a soldier who's been through the war and knows the value of peace. Because out here, under this big sky, those who wear their scars with honor are the ones who inspire the rest of us to keep riding, no matter how rough the trail gets. Discomfort is the birthplace of growth. Comfort is a fine thing, in small doses. A warm bed after a long day, a good meal after hard work. Those are blessings worth being thankful for. But if you make comfort your home, your prison cell is already built, and you're the one locking the door. Out here, we've learned that comfort will keep you alive, but it'll never help you grow. Discomfort, that's where the real stretching happens. That's where the old you gets left behind and the new you is born. Think about a young colt. It doesn't learn to run by standing still in the pasture nibbling grass. It learns when it's pushed, when the wind's in its face, when the ground's uneven, when it stumbles and gets back up. Same goes for us. We don't grow by sitting in the shade, sipping easy days. We grow when the trail gets steep, when our legs ache, when we're sweating and gasping, but still putting one boot in front of the other. Most folks avoid discomfort like it's a plague. They take the short road, the smooth road, the road with rest stops every mile. But what they don't see is that by dodging the hard road, they're also dodging the strength, skill, and wisdom that only comes from walking. The hard road is where the lessons lie. Discomfort strips you of illusions. It forces you to see yourself without the fluff, without the excuses. You find out what you're made of when you're tired, cold, and hungry, and the only way out is forward. You might discover weaknesses you never knew you had, but you'll also uncover strengths you never dreamed of. You see, growth isn't a gentle process. It's more like a seed breaking through the dirt. From the outside, it looks peaceful, little green shoot, fresh and pretty. But underground, that seed had to split apart. It had to fight through darkness, push against soil, and break free into the light. That's discomfort, and without it, nothing ever grows. Some people pray for an easier life. I say pray for the strength to handle the life you've got, because when you can stand steady in the wind, when you can walk uphill in the rain, when you can keep going with blisters on your feet, you start realizing that discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the trainer that's building your endurance, your grit, your patience. And here's the quiet truth no one likes to admit. Discomfort also wakes you up. When you're too comfortable, your senses dull. You stop noticing the small things. You stop feeling the urgency of life. But discomfort snaps you back to attention. It makes you alert, sharp, aware. It forces you to be present, because every moment counts when the ground under you is uneven. There's no shortcut around this. The champions, the leaders, the ones who make it through the storms, they all walked through seasons of discomfort. They didn't just tolerate it, they leaned into it. They let it toughen their hands, steady their breathing, and clear their mind. So, if you find yourself in a season where nothing feels easy, don't run from it. Don't waste your breath cursing the difficulty. Plant your feet and remember, this is the birthplace of your next version. Every ache is a stretch. Every challenge is a growth spurt in disguise. Every step you take in discomfort is a step into a bigger, stronger you. When it's all said and done, comfort may be sweet, but discomfort is sacred. It's the proving ground where the person you were yesterday dies, and the person you were meant to be takes their first breath. Embrace it, because out here under the wide sky, only those who can walk through the hard places will ever reach the high ground. 4. Don't waste your hurt. Hurt is one of the most expensive things you'll ever own. It costs you sleep, tears, trust, sometimes even pieces of who you used to be. And because it's so costly, it's a shame when folks just throw it away. Bury it deep, pretend it never happened, and let it rot there in the dark. Out here, we've learned something different. If you've paid the price, you'd better get your money's worth. Don't waste your hurt. See, every hurt carries something inside it, a lesson, a strength, a truth, that you can't get any other way. You can read 100 books about betrayal, but you'll never understand loyalty until you've felt what it's like to be let down. You can hear speeches about perseverance, but you'll never know your own endurance until you've been on your knees and still found a way to stand. Hurt is a teacher, and it teaches in a language no classroom ever could. The trouble is, most people just want to get rid of hurt as fast as possible. They numb it with distractions, drown it with noise, or smother it under busyness. They think the goal is to make it disappear. But if you rush past hurt, you rush past the gold that's buried in it. Every trial you survive has something in it that can make you wiser, stronger, sharper, if you're willing to look for it. There's a trick to this. You don't have to like your hurt to use it. You don't have to pretend it feels good. You just have to refuse to waste it. When life knocks you flat, take a moment to breathe, then start asking, what can I take from this? What can this teach me? How can I turn this into fuel? If you've got to walk through the fire anyway, you might as well come out carrying some embers to light your next trail. Hurt can do two things. It can make you bitter, or it can make you better. The choice is yours. If you feed the bitterness, you'll stay stuck, dragging the weight of your pain like a chain everywhere you go. But if you decide to make it better, you'll use that same hurt as a whetstone to sharpen your courage, deepen your compassion, and make your soul stronger than steel. Here's the thing, your hurt isn't just for you. The lessons you wrestle out of it might be the exact thing someone else needs to hear one day. When you turn your hurt into wisdom, you become a walking lantern for somebody still wandering in the dark. And when they see the scars you carry and the way you've learned from them, they realize their pain doesn't have to be wasted either. Now, don't mistake this for some easy, rosy idea. Using your hurt is hard work. It means facing it instead of hiding from it. It means picking through the ashes for anything worth keeping. It means being patient when the answers don't come right away. But if you do that work, if you dig through the mess instead of turning your back on it, you'll find treasures in there you never imagined. I've met folks who went through tragedies so deep you could almost feel the weight of it hanging in the air around them. And yet, some of those same folks turned their hurt into something powerful. An unshakable kindness, an unstoppable drive, a fire in their eyes that nothing could put out. They didn't waste what they went through. They built with it, so when hurt comes, and it will, don't just survive it, don't just limp away from it, take it, turn it over, squeeze every drop of meaning out of it, let it make you better, let it make you wiser. Let it be the fuel that powers you into a future your hurt never wanted you to see. Because here's the truth, hurt will visit all of us, but what you do with it, that's what decides whether it becomes a burden or a weapon. Don't waste it. You've already paid for it. Now use it. 5 resilience is built, not born. Some folks talk about resilience like it's something you either have or you don't, like blue eyes or a crooked smile. Truth is, no one comes into this world ready to face every storm. Resilience isn't in your blood, it's in your blisters. It's something hammered out of you over time, through trials, setbacks, and the kind of days that knock the wind right out of your chest. When you see someone standing steady in the middle of chaos, don't be fooled into thinking they were just born that way. That steadiness was built, piece by piece. Through 100 smaller storms they made it through before this one. Every time life tried to knock them over, and they found a way to get back up, a little more steel went into their backbone. Resilience is like calluses on your hands. You don't get them by sitting on the porch watching sunsets. You get them by working the rope, gripping the plow, swinging the hammer. At first it hurts. Your skin blisters, tears, and bleeds. But if you keep showing up, those same spots grow tougher. Soon, the work that used to tear you apart is just part of your day. Life works the same way. The first time you face heartbreak, loss, or failure, it hits like a freight train. You think there's no way you'll get through it. But somehow you do. You patch yourself together, one slow day at a time, and without realizing it, you've started building something inside. A quiet, unshakable core that remembers, I've been through worse, and I'm still standing. That memory becomes your armor for the next hit that comes along. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. It's about planting your boots in the dirt and deciding you're not done yet. Some days, all that looks like is taking one more step, but that step matters. It's the proof you're still in the fight, still willing to show up even when you've got nothing left to give but your presence. Out here, we've got a saying, the more you carry, the stronger you get. Doesn't mean you go looking for extra weight, but it means you learn to handle what's put in your hands. Every challenge you lift makes you stronger for the next one. Before long, you're carrying loads that would have crushed you a year ago, and you barely notice the strain. Here's the secret: no one likes to talk about resilience is built in the quiet, unglamorous moments. Not in the big, dramatic victories, but in the everyday choices to keep going when nobody's watching. It's forged in the mornings you get out of bed even though you want to stay under the covers. It's shaped in the nights you keep walking even when the trail's cold and your muscles ache. And let me tell you, resilience has a memory. Every time you've survived before is fuel for the next battle. When life hits you again, your mind says, we've been here before. We know how to get through this. That memory keeps you from panicking, keeps you moving, keeps you believing there's still a way forward. So don't envy someone else's toughness. Build your own, brick by brick, step by step, day by day. Every challenge you face is either going to break you down or build you up. And the deciding factor is whether you choose to stand back up after you fall. One day, you'll look back at the road you've walked and realize something. The very struggles you thought were slowing you down were actually training you. The storms weren't setbacks, they were strength builders. And that's when you'll see the truth. Resilience isn't a gift you're given. It's a house you build one nail at a time until you've got a shelter inside yourself that no storm can tear apart. So keep building, keep standing, keep showing up, because every blow you survive is another stone in the foundation of the strongest thing you'll ever own, your resilience. 6, your pain is a passport. Most people see pain like it's a border wall, something that stops them from going any further. But if you've been paying attention out here on the trail, you know better. Pain isn't a wall, it's a stamp in your passport. It's proof you've been somewhere most people are too scared to go, and it gives you access to places comfort will never take you. Every time you walk through pain, you cross into new territory, you see things differently, you notice details you missed before. It changes the way you talk, the way you stand, the way you listen. Pain has a way of teaching you the language of survival, and once you've learned it, you can speak to people in a way the untouched never can. You can't buy that kind of understanding. You can't fake it. You have to earn it, and earning it costs more than most folks are willing to pay. It costs sleepless nights, heartbreak, rejection, loss, and all the moments that strip you down until all that's left is the core of who you are. But here's the twist. Once you've paid that price, you hold something rare. You've got a ticket to places most people will never see. Pain will take you deep into your own soul. It'll show you where you've been pretending, where you've been hiding, where you've been holding yourself back. It doesn't take you there to hurt you. It takes you there to wake you up. And once you've woken up, you can't go back to sleep. You can't go back to living small. You've seen too much. It's like climbing a mountain. The air is thin, the climb is brutal, and there are moments when you wonder if you'll make it. But when you reach the top, the view changes everything. You see horizons you didn't know existed. You understand how far you've come. And you know in your bones it was worth every aching step. That view, that perspective, is your passport. Pain also gives you entry into other people's worlds. Someone who's never been hurt can't sit with a grieving friend the way you can. They can't look into someone's eyes and silently say, "I get it." They can't walk into a room where the air is thick with sorrow and breathe steady because they've never breathed through their own storms. Pain makes you fluent in empathy. It gives you permission to go places most people can't reach in another person's heart. And here's something folks rarely talk about. Pain doesn't just give you access to deeper places, it also gives you access to higher places. Once you've been through the valleys, you can climb higher without fear, because you know if you fall, you'll survive the landing. You've done it before. That kind of courage opens doors that stay shut for people who have only lived in the shallow end of life. The truth is, comfort keeps you local. Pain sends you global. Comfort keeps you in familiar territory. Pain stamps your passport and sends you to distant lands of the soul. And the more stamps you collect, the richer your life becomes, not in money, but in meaning. So the next time pain comes knocking, don't just see it as an unwelcome visitor. See it as a travel guide. It's here to take you somewhere you've never been before, somewhere inside you and somewhere in the world around you. If you're willing to walk with it, you'll come back with a new stamp in your passport and a story worth telling. Pain isn't the end of your journey. It's your ticket to the next chapter. And if you let it, it'll take you to places that will change you forever. Places where you'll stand taller, speak truer, and live braver than you ever thought possible. Carry your passport with pride. Every stamp is proof you've lived, you've learned, and you've gone where the road gets rough, and still found your way through. The trail you've walked when you stand back and look at it all. The pain that forged you, the scars that mark you, the discomfort that stretched you, the hurt you refused to waste, the resilience you built, and the passport your pain stamped. You start to see the bigger picture. Life was never about making the ride easy. It was about making you ready for the ride. Every rough mile, every sleepless night, every moment you thought you couldn't go on, was a part of the training. And whether you knew it or not, you've been in the forge, in the saddle, in the climb, becoming someone who can face what's ahead without flinching. Pain tried to break you, but it made you instead. Scars tried to shame you, but they gave you honor. Discomfort tried to stop you, but it grew you. Hurt tried to bury you, but you planted it and grew stronger roots. Every blow you've taken has been a step toward the kind of strength that can't be bought, borrowed, or faked. And now you carry something rare. You've got a story etched into your bones that says, "I've been there, I've faced it, I've survived." You've got a map drawn in blood, sweat, and tears that can guide others through their storms. You've got a kind of authority no diploma or title can give. Because it's not written on paper, it's written in your life. So keep your head high, your boots steady, and your eyes on the horizon. You've earned every mile you've walked, every lesson you've learned, and every bit of grit in your spirit. Your pain has not been wasted. It's been converted into power. Power to stand, power to endure, power to lead, power to live with both strength and compassion. And when the next storm rolls in, as it surely will, you won't just endure it. You'll ride through it knowing the truth. The trail might be long, the night might be cold, but you've been here before. You've got the scars, the resilience, and the passport to prove it. And that, partner, is a power no one can take from you.